We had 18 months to develop a car.
Hello everyone and welcome to yet another insightful edition in my educational series. So this week I am bringing you a passionate engineer with over 11 years of industry experience. Franco Morsino is currently the vehicle dynamics lead at Pagani Automobili, the Italian hypercar manufacturer, which for the entirety of its existence has based its motto on marrying art with mechanical movement. For the past almost decade, Franco and his team have been continuously pushing the boundaries of automotive design to deliver nothing less but exceptional results. His story is quite inspiring, starting from a very young age, back in Rio Cuarto in Argentina, where he grew up to deeply love car design, so this couldn't hold him back. He then moved to Buenos Aires, seeking referred opportunities, and eventually he came to Europe. Franco has also given a TEDx talk and has continuously been in the forefront of passionately representing his love and care for his craft, his passion for innovation, his team, and the incredible company he's working for. You are going therefore to understand the reality of leading a vehicle dynamics team. So what does it actually take to just stay in the forefront of innovation, team efficiency standards, and client satisfaction? At this point, Franco, I want to sincerely thank you for allocating your truly valuable time to reflect upon your journey, share your thoughts, your expertise with me and the students and young professionals who are going to watch this interview so that we can make more educated decisions about our future careers. Franco, I want to thank you for allocating your valuable time to talk to me, reflect upon your journey, share your expertise with me and the students and young professionals who are going to watch this interview. The company Franco is representing holds a very special place in my heart. I grew up to love supercars, I grew up to love Pagani, and I just hope that you can see the passion that's emitted through Franco's voice and experiences. Thank you and enjoy the interview.
Si alguno de ustedes se ha preguntado realmente dónde quiere estas cosas y estén felices así, distintas, ir tomando las decisiones intermedias necesarias para llegar. Esa era toda mi expectativa de una clase de contabilidad. Muchas gracias.
So my first question to you would be basically why you're doing what you're doing. How did you develop a passion for mechanical engineering and engineering in general?
Well, I guess that engineering was not the answer. It was just a tool, just another tool in the toolbox on getting what I wanted to do. I guess the whole story just get started as for many people, like getting curiosity as a young individuals and understand how things works, right? Like trying to open the things, understand what's going on inside and how they work. And that was special truth for me, and particularly for cars, for planes, for boats, for any way of transport. Okay, the given point, just getting in touch with Formula One, since my father was a fan of Ferrari at the golden ages of Schumacher, mid-90s. So that was just amazing to share as a family time the passion on the races and like that. And so I was just going crazy on the idea of somehow getting part of that world automotive world as a broad envelope of things without knowing what does it mean. When I was almost a teenager, 12 or 13 years old, I just discovered like kind of an Nat Geo video, the story of a small company in Italy doing handmade cars, custom for each customer, with crazy attention to detail, making all of the mechanical aspects of the car looking so beautiful as much as the exterior of the car. And it was just, wow, I want to do that. And at the end of the presentation, the video was just a description of the man himself. It was Mr. Pagani. And they say, yeah, look at this man, started with really just a dream, a desire, and a lot of talent and energies on his side, but just far away from here in Italy. He was born in Argentina. I said, oh, wait a moment. That's some kind of like more or less my situation. So I really want to do that of my life. So I really pointed out on the idea of someday to be able to build up the most beautiful cars in the world together with Horacio Pagani. And well, that was somehow a magnetic north for many decisions in my life. So just going back to the beginning of the answer, engineering was just one of the skills or tools somehow I choose to learn and to acquire, so to be able to be part of this world and to have something to offer, right?
Absolutely. And you are bringing out another point that I saw in your CV as well, because I have a lot of friends of mine who they don't just want to go and work for an automotive company. They want to go and work for someone who is offering not just a car, not just a product, but an experience as well, and be part of the family. And a question I'm getting from students a lot is like, okay, but how should I approach my entry into the automotive world? Should I place a lot of importance on the team I will work with? Should I place importance on the company policy and if it resonates with mine? So how do you believe they should navigate? Like an undergraduate engineering student, how do you believe they should like navigate to get into a company they will love? How can they do that?
I
It's a
don't
tricky
feel
question, I know.
it's an interesting question. Don't put myself in the position to give advices to anybody, but I can share with you my point of view on this.
Absolutely.
I would say that one of the most important things into a workplace at the end of the day is the team you're working with and the people surrounding you and the working environment. At the very same time, that's one of the hardest things to feel and understand in a job interview. So that's not a really good cue on how to choose a work, but at the end of the day, that's something that really makes a huge difference. Step back from that, so trying to choose. I have experience working on really huge multinational companies. I have experience working in a really small family-owned business as the reality I'm working in right now. My perspective, my point of view is that you can find a huge amount of value in both. There are just different situations in a really big business, on a big company. You can be really specific into a topic. You can get a lot of experts supporting you. You can get a lot of knowledge, but it's going to be a silo of information, more or less big, but it's going to be in any case a limited area you're going to be dealing with. On the other hand, in a smaller company, generally speaking, you get the opportunity to deal with problems and situations and projects from an overall point of view in a more holistic way. So you have to face more steps, areas, or steps into the same project from the very beginning to the very end of it, and that makes you feel the ownership of the full project, the full resolution somehow, and that may be really enjoyable and rewarding as an experience. That's the type of choice I'm doing in my life right now, and I really enjoying it. But of course, each individual may have different expectations on this side, so there is not one size fits all in these cases, right?
I mean, you are absolutely right. But what I believe you offer is you offer the element of experience. And me seeing that you are a very well-oriented individual, I'm sure that a lot of people can benefit from the advice you have to offer because you've been there, you've done that. So let's say in the worst case scenario that you're wrong, and this is the wrong advice. I don't believe so. I don't believe so because you're giving pointers, and a person can aim to do what you're saying and end up with a vastly different result. But it's not going to be a bad result. So I believe your advice is extremely solid.
Thank you.
So if we move to this is a culture I think of my generation as well. Like there's a lot of students who do this mentioned like job hopping. They go from place to place to place to place, trying to gather as much experience as possible before trying to settle. And it's basically we fall victims of constant change. I want something else. I want something different. I want to see every single company. Do you believe it's detrimental, basically, to have too many jobs in your resume?
Well, it depends where are you going. Okay,
Mm.
it's like let's say you keep studying and then you get one degree in engineering and then you get a master and then you get another master and then you get a specialization here and there. You can be studying for 60 years. Okay, and it's not that it's going to be good or wrong, right? It's a matter of choices. My personal point of view in this regard is that having the chance of focusing on a specific area, domain, topic, type of companies, type of product, or area of specialization is a more rewarding way of making choices, since you get a clear vision on where are you going, and then you can take several decisions aligned to get to that place. No, I like to think on this as with the analogy of the lenses, right? You're taking just a piece of paper and you're putting it in the sun, and nothing is going to happen. You need to keep it there for days, and maybe it's going to get a little bit yellow. Okay, but then if you're taking a lens and you're putting it in the proper position and you're concentrating the energy in a single point, then you're going to be the piece of paper getting burned. Okay, you're going to be a little tiny black dot at the very beginning, and then it's going to be burned. Okay, and we can do the same with our energy and with our life. If we have a clear vision, a clear goal, a clear direction, you can call it dream, utopia, call it as you wish. And I guess it's really important to have clear vision and goals. That way, you can judge a long-term vision helps to align the different choices and dots you're doing on the way. Even if you're not going straight, you're taking diagonals or jumping a little bit back and forth, you know where you're going, which from my personal point of view is different than just trying to taste a little bit of everything without a rationale behind that. Okay, so of course, getting to know different working environments, different companies, different engineering domains is interesting. It's challenging. It's for sure is fruitful in terms of getting new experiences. But at the end of the day, you need to settle and create somewhere something. Okay, so
Absolutely,
the question is,
I agree.
what do you want to create? What domain do you want to change? What's going to be your impact, right? And to get some impact in some area, you need to stay in that area, or in that company, or in that domain for long enough to learn, to make mistakes, to learn from that mistakes, to learn from the people around you, to create something new. And that's why I really believe into finding something you really love, finding your passion, finding a trend, finding a road that really goes and suits you well as a person, as an individual, and pays off as a professional choice, right?
Absolutely. I believe you articulated a very important point, and you made a great. I've never heard this analogy before of having a piece of paper and a magnifying glass.
It just came out
I
here, right?
really, my God, I'm going to be blunt and tell you that I will start using this. This is the best analogy I've ever heard to describe something like this. So it's stuck in my mind. So do you believe that it's more beneficial for a student to start from a small company because the specialists or maybe the mentors who are there are going to pay more attention to a newcomer?
I do. Okay, I do. That was not my path, but overall speaking, it may be good to start having a broader view on some aspects on how a company works, how areas works, and what is all about. Because working into a company, generally speaking, is pretty much different on what's the university phase is in a daily basis and in the long term also. So generally speaking, having good human relationships and good quality of the relations with the team and the people surrounding you in a new position is pretty helpful. So to learn new skills, to understand how it's all about, and how to handle the situations with your peers, with the people in upper positions in the ladder, with the people that report to you also. And I guess, yes, it's somehow easier to understand how it works. Then, of course, if you ask many of the people studying mechanical engineering, they're going to say, okay, I want to work, let's say, I want to be the aerodynamicist in Ferrari or things like that. So, of course, there's a few positions out there, and thousands of individuals around the world, extremely highly talented individuals looking for that positions. Okay. And of course, some of people is gonna make that, but at the end of the day, there are also a hell lot of opportunities in smaller businesses that are maybe also interested in engaging, and somehow may allow the people or the young individuals to mature some skills, and so then to be more competent to really knock at the door and ask for the dream jobs with some further experience, right?
So from what you're saying, I assume it's extremely, and this is not a question that it's in the ones that I've written down, but I understand it's very important for a young engineer to be very, very proactive and do things also outside the university, you would say?
I would say yes. I would say that it's very important also to develop the broadest possible social network, but in the real meaning of social network. I mean, talking to people, getting to know people, asking, and generally speaking, people is willing to help you when some people that have been doing some part of the journey you're trying to start, they're gonna be most likely trying to help you, support you, or giving you any advice or any hint on how to move, and that's valuable. I have received these kind of advices when I was at the university time, and I'm still today thankful for that kind of a thing. So also just trying to broaden the boundaries of what's the personal social network is helpful from my perspective.
I think it's very important because life is a circle. So someone helped you, now you are helping me, then I will help someone else as well. So sometimes it's a non-forgiving industry because I know very clearly that you're bounded by NDAs. So this limits very much how much information you can put out there. And I know you cannot talk as an ambassador of the company you're working for. So what I'm trying to do basically is like pull the veil a little bit so that you're able to share some of your experience, because really most students they don't have access to people like you. So I feel very, very privileged per se to be able to transfer all that information to students. And these were all my questions. And I think this half an hour that you spend with me is going to be very beneficial.
And I'm really happy to have these kind of discussions, because when you are down there in the third year of the university and the choices you need to do and the tasks you have, and that may be the less creative, the 5 less creative years in your life, but technically is the moment when you have surrounded of people, laboratories, teachers, professors, experienced people that you can learn from. But at the end of the day, you are so busy studying that you just don't really get all of the value of the experience around you. So yeah, I guess an engineering degree, it's a goal in a part of a longer trip. So it's part of it, right? Because if you want to get some kind of opportunities, you need to get some certified skills, like speak the proper languages, handle the proper softwares, have some degree on technical training in the areas you want to work with. But you also need some social skills. You also need some
soft skills, yeah,
proactivity. You also need some entrepreneurship. You also need to be broad-minded. You need to be a curious individual. You need to have some ingenuity to solve problems in some creative ways. So there are a lot of stuff that goes well beyond the curricula of the university that, on my personal experience, are even more valuable than having the maximum qualifications in the university. Okay, but why am I doing all of that, right? What's going to be useful afterwards?
Absolutely, I fully agree, and I'm sure that a lot of people have like, yeah. If you want to add something else?
No.
Okay, so what I was about to say is that we have a lot of metrics in the university and companies, I believe, to assess someone like performance, but we don't have a lot of metrics to assess someone's trust per se. How much can you trust your colleague? You don't know that. You have to actually go and talk to the person, get to know them, and be comfortable with them, and then you might be able to start trusting them and build like an actual bond. So, and we're not taught that in the university. We're taught like how to be calculative, scientific, very precise, but we're not taught how to talk to people, bond with people. So I believe that's very important that you mentioned like soft skills.
But happily, there are really, really clever people that have been living before us, have been writing books. We can find a lot of the very best lymph of most of the cleverest ever individuals in the world to learn from. So I guess that literature, it may be also a really huge source of questions and sometimes also from solutions.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, and I again want to thank you for this. I am getting also educated together with the students who will see this. So I really value your time that you spend with me.
It's somehow my pleasure to be part of it. So thank you for your invitation. Still, I really like the way you propose the thing, being really polite and structured on the proposal, and it's pretty cool what you have been doing. So keep moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Morsino. Can I call you Franco?
You should, yes.
Great. So Franco, thank you for your kind words. It really means a lot. It just sets me up for the day. meeting professionals like you who just appreciate what I'm trying to do. Sincerely, thank you. So I wish you a great evening, and I'll be in touch soon.
Okay.
Cool.
So thank you, George.
Thank you, Franco. Have a good evening.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.